What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. It's been some time since I've done one, but I really want to get back into these and start producing some extra value for you guys. And most of what I want to do in regards to these videos is expand on posts that I've put up. So this post is identical to one that I put up a couple of days ago around overcoming body dysmorphia and 3 big things that I just feel like people are missing when they are trying to improve their body image, overcome the identity and the label of body dysmorphia. But obviously on Instagram, there's only a certain amount of detail I can go into in the caption. And yeah, there's always a lot more that I want to talk about. There's always more detail I want to go into. So for those of you that resonate with those posts and enjoy the captions and sort of understand what I'm saying and feel it applies to you, I really wanted to make these videos where I expand on the things that I say to give you guys some extra value to hopefully be able to help you more. Okay, so yeah, in this video, we'll be talking about body dysmorphia and overcoming it. Something I've spoken about a lot, something that I personally overcome and I help my clients to work through as well. But we're going to talk about things that most people will not talk about or won't know need to be spoken about. Right? Because obviously everyone just goes to, for me to overcome body dysmorphia, I must just transform my body. I must just get leaner. I must just put on more muscle, whatever it might be. And whilst, yes, that is obviously crucial with something like body dysmorphia that is directly related to how we view our body, that is not all, right? And this is why so many people will often fall off track, or they won't create sustainable results, or they'll actually change their body and they'll look fantastic. But body dysmorphia is more than just our aesthetics, right? It's how we feel about our body. It's how we perceive our body, right? Body dysmorphia, the label itself, has more involved in it than just what we look like in the mirror, right? Because we may look incredible in the mirror. We may look awesome in our before and after photo, but if our mind and our inner world and our perception of our body doesn't change with it, we'll still just see ourselves as not good enough. We'll still see ourselves as fat, or we'll still find things we hate about our body. Right? And then that's body dysmorphia is still there because our perception of our body is skewed. So we need to look deeper, and this is the work I do with my clients, right? We change the body from a physical standpoint, from an aesthetic standpoint, a strength standpoint, but we also understand that there's more we need to look at. There's inner world work we need to do. There's mindset shifts. There's emotional regulations. There's stuff we need to let go. There's the lens of the way we see our world we need to start changing so we see our body and we see ourselves in a different light. All right, so that's what we're going to be getting into in this video. And let's go to the first point. Actually, we're going to put my head up here. So the first thing you need to understand, guys, is body dysmorphia is an identity, right? It is not directly correlated to our body fat percentage or our weight. All right, or our aesthetics, right? It's an identity. It is something that we get labeled. And this is what I struggled with so much when I was, when body dysmorphia was pretty much running my life, right? Because I went from really, really skinny and really lean to really big and really muscly and everywhere in between. And I never actually found satisfaction. I always still had this skewed perception of my body, right? And that's not necessarily because of how I was looking. It was just how my mind was set up, how my perception was, and how I felt about myself as a whole, right? And that reflected the rest of my life, which we're going to go into a little bit later as well. So understanding that it's an identity, it's a label, it's something we can get given, right? Like a condition that we have. Right now, when we get labeled something like this, or when we take on an identity such as, I'm the person with bad body image, or I have body dysmorphia, or I hate the way I look, right? That is an identity that we take on. Right, now, when we take on an identity, we need to understand that it comes with a set of belief systems. So things we believe about ourselves as a result of us having this condition, right? We have a set of values. So things we value as someone that has body dysmorphia, right? We have a certain language, right? The way we talk about ourselves, our self-talk is often very negatively skewed, right? We might put on some clothes and look in the mirror, and immediately our voice is like, oh, well, you look crap in this, or look, you can see your fat rolls, or this, or this, or this, right? And we create this whole set of language that goes and aligns with this identity, right? We have actions, right? Because I'm someone with bad body image and body dysmorphia, therefore I do not do X, Y, Z, or I do X, Y, Z, right? To keep me as someone with body dysmorphia, right? And we also have anchors. And what I mean by that is We have parts of our life that are so intertwined with being the person that has body dysmorphia that we keep ourselves there because that is safe, that is comfortable, right? This is who we are. And the second line here, you've gotten comfortable with this identity, right? We as humans, we need certainty, we need safety, and we can get that by having an identity or who we are and how other people see us, right? Because if we know we're the person that everyone knows, oh yeah, he's like never satisfied with his body, or he always hates his body, or he doesn't come to social things because we know he doesn't feel comfortable in how he looks, so he'll probably just stay at home, whatever it might be. We take on this identity. This is how people start to know us. That in a really weird way, and this is how our unconscious mind works, that is safe, that is comfortable for us, right? And the thought then becomes, well, if I'm not the person that is overweight or this or has body dysmorphia or whatever it might be, if that's not me anymore, then who am I? And that is really, really, really scary. And for a lot of people, that can be scarier than actually having the body dysmorphia and the pain that is causing. I know that's something I dealt with. I was always the bigger kid, the chunkier one. Mum used to be really kind, and she used to say, "You're not fat. You're just." What did she say? It's going to come to me. Solid. She's like, "You're not fat. You're just solid." That was a really nice way of Mum, calling me not fat when I was fat. But I took on that label. I was always the bigger kid. Right? And that became an identity that then if I wasn't that person anymore, if I wasn't the bigger kid anymore, then who would I be? Right? And that can be really, really scary. All right. Now with this, your lack of confidence, certainty, self-worth, self-belief, and motivation can all be traced back to how you feel about your body. So whilst yes, our body and the confidence or lack of confidence that it gives us can be a physical thing and will change as we grow physically and we improve our body, right? But that can influence so many different areas of our life as well, right? Now, changing your body at an external level is crucial, but it will only ever stick if you also change the inner workings of this identity that's currently controlling you, right? And this is what the work I do is it's like, I've had plenty of clients that I've worked with before in the past, before I did this level of stuff where we changed their body and they would look great and everyone could see they'd look great, but it never stuck for them. They always wanted more. They could never be actually proud of where they had gotten to. Okay. So we need to change the physical. We need to change you at an external level on how you look, but we need to make sure we're actually working on the identity and getting you to move through it, changing your beliefs, your values, changing the way you talk about yourself, changing your actions, having you understand your anchors and what maybe you need to let go of, right? And then understanding where this lack of confidence, certainty, self-worth, belief, and motivation are also showing up in your life as well that we can change. All right. So if you're watching this and you're like, yeah, I've tried to change my body and I have changed my body, but I never ever feel good enough, chances are you are still living with this identity or as this version of you. Hence why it's not changing, because you haven't shifted at a core foundational level. Okay. That is point number one. Now, point number two is around outcomes, around meaning, right? What is your reason not to have body dysmorphia? All right. Tell me why you cannot stand to be this version of you any longer and what it will mean for you when you finally shake this label, transform your body and start living a life free of the control that it currently has over you. If we approach this, we try to improve our body image by just wanting to be more aesthetic and just look better, that is not going to be enough. I promise you that. You might get some short-term progress, some short-term gain, but there will come a point where that just will not stick anymore, right? And you will keep going back to how you used to be. I am a big believer that to see true change, we must align ourselves to a reason for being on this earth. We must look at the bigger picture, right? Because it's not, you won't be that motivated just to change your body for the sake of changing your body, right? And you might, right? And that might get you a little way, but where I have gotten the most motivation and bang for buck in regards to where I'm going is when I am aiming, that's what I'm doing at the moment, I'm looking to create a body that is able to help me complete my mission for being on this earth, to help me be a better man, to be a better coach, to be a better father and husband in the future, right? To be able to look after and care for and protect my family, right? If I think of where I want to go in the future, if I go to a point in my life in say 25 years, right, where I've got kids, I've got a wife, I've got a thriving business, my life is as epic as it possibly can be, right? I can't afford to have body dysmorphia. I can't afford to have a negative perception of myself. That is just, it's just not going to work, right? I'm not going to be able to create that life if I'm continuously using my energy to talk down on my body and to have a body that isn't healthy, isn't strong, isn't fit, and doesn't fill me with confidence. I don't have time for that, right? So for you right now, if you're struggling with your body image and your body and you can't change it, right? Where does this lead you? Where do you end up if you do not shake this and you do not overcome this? Do you have a fucking reason to not have body dysmorphia and to be this person anymore? Right? If you're to continue to stay in this body you're in, talking about yourself the way you are, lacking motivation, lacking confidence, lacking drive, lacking self-belief, lacking self-worth, where do you end up? Right? I guarantee you it's not where you're capable of ending up, because our body is our vehicle. It's like trying to get to a destination with a broken down car, right? And then not having the desire to want to change it or to fix it or to upgrade that car. Right? You're just not going to get to where you want to go. So tell me your reason not to have this anymore. We need you to connect into we need you to connect to a bigger reason than just changing your body, right? It's just not going to be enough. Okay. So what kind of body do you need aesthetically, strength and performance wise, health wise, and functionality wise for you to be able to live and carry out your life mission? And if you don't have one, work it out quickly. And this can literally be as simple as I want to be the best mother to my kids, right? Or I want to be the best father to my kids, or I want to live a lifestyle where I'm not controlled by anyone, or I want to make, enough money so I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, and not have everyone tell me what I can do. Or I just want to be happy, live a fulfilling life, give back where I can, whatever it might be. Like, it doesn't really matter, guys. Just once you connect to something bigger than yourself, and as a reason as to why you're actually here, you can then trace back and be like, okay, cool. What kind of body do I need? What does my health need to look like? How do I need to be able to perform to have this? Right? If you don't have that and you're not focused on what you're trying to create, then that means your thoughts are bound to where you are and what you don't have and your current situation. And if we're only thinking as big as where we are right now, and we're only thinking as big as our current challenges, that is what we will continue to create. Right? And then there's no real motivation to get rid of your body dysmorphia or to have a body that you look at with confidence, because there's nowhere you're going. So it's like, well, what's the point? Why would I waste my time and energy when there's no real reason for me to have this? All right? This is something I work on with my clients extensively at the start, is yes, getting them clear on their outcomes for our time together, but I take them through something called the Dream Bible, which is a free resource that I have. I'll even link it down below if you want to do it. And that's where we look at all aspects of their life, from their relationships to their body and their health, to their finances, to their job, to their lifestyle, right? Just to name a few things to get them clear on that. And then once they understand where they want all of those things to be and what they want to work towards, again, they'll see pretty quickly how having a body that isn't full of confidence and belief and is still stuck in this identity of body dysmorphia, that is not going to help them get there. So they suddenly get motivated. Like, what a shocker. There actually is a reason for them to move out of this identity. All right, so if you're struggling and you can't seem to shake it, I guarantee one of the biggest reasons is you just do not have a good enough reason to be able to shake it. Right? As simple as that sounds, I guarantee there is a lot of gold for you in that if you haven't thought about it like that. All right, and then the last one, stop fucking quitting. I put up a quote on my story this morning. I don't know where it's from. You see it around all the time, but you can't lose if you don't quit. Too many of you are falling off track and making that mean everything under the fucking sun, right? You quit. And again, we can trace this back to the last point, which is you don't have a reason not to. There's nothing you're working towards, so it doesn't matter if you quit. All right, if you always quit and let yourself believe one mistake means failure, that means the first 2 points aren't in place. Right? It means there isn't a deeper meaning, there isn't a reason for you to keep going. Right? If we go back to these. And it also means that body dysmorphia is your identity. Right? And you're not thinking outside of that, you're not thinking bigger than that. That is just who you are. Right? And if that's who you are, of course you're going to quit. Because if you don't quit, that means you're successful. And if you're successful, that means you get rid of this body dysmorphia and this label that everyone knows you as, right? So of course you're going to quit because that's who you believe you are, right? Your ego is winning. Your ego wants to keep you exactly where you are, and you're letting it win at the moment, right? The identity you've built around it is controlling you, and your reason to change it isn't stronger than your reason to stay. Right? At the moment, the pain you perceive to change and move through this is greater than the pain you're currently experiencing. And that's one of the things I aim to do with my content and stuff like this, is to get you to recognize that the pain you're currently in is worse than the pain it's going to take to change. Right? Yes, changing is hard. It is difficult. It is full of so much resistance and fear and challenges. But it's like, at least those challenges are going to get you somewhere, especially when you get clear on where you want to go and how you can't live another fucking day in this current body with this perception of yourself. Right? That's just how it needs to be. So yeah, it sucks where I am. It's going to suck, to go on this journey and go through all that stuff, but it's like, choose your hard. Right? And the more you quit, the more you just resign yourself to this life of mediocrity, right? Of body dysmorphia, of being controlled and limited by how you look and how you feel in yourself. Right? Don't sit here and tell me how bad you want to change when the evidence says that as soon as something goes wrong, you bail. Right? This is where we get our conscious and unconscious mind misalignment, because consciously, which is 5%, max 5% of our behavior and our life is conscious. Right? We get 5% that's telling us, yeah, I want to change, I want to lose weight, I want to da-da-da-da-da. But then if we haven't gone in and done the work on your inner world and looked at your unconscious mind, which is up to 95%, right? Much bigger number than 5%. And that unconscious mind is stuck in this identity of, oh, this is who I am. I have body dysmorphia. I can never achieve anything. I'm not confident. I don't have belief in myself. My self-worth is low. People have told me that, da-da-da-da-da. That is going to win. They're the two scenarios. Right? We either succumb to our unconscious mind and our ego and we keep fucking quitting and we stay where we are because that's what's comfortable and safe. Or we're like, hey, yeah, I do want to change. I can't live this anymore. I want to get connected to a reason as to why I'm going to change. Right? I want to become a version of me that is no longer bound to this label of body dysmorphia. Right? When we start to understand what our unconscious mind is doing and why we keep getting stuck and why we keep quitting, we can start to work around it and move through it. All right. So to wrap this up, guys, I hear you. If you're struggling with this, if you just can't seem to shake this negative body image you have of every time you look in the mirror, the voice starts. You don't go to social things because you don't want to have to pick an outfit because you don't like how you look. All these things I've fucking been there. I've lived it myself, right? My clients have lived it themselves as well. The answer isn't just found in the gym. That is important. It is important to have your training in place, your nutrition in place, but it's going to be fucking useless if you're always quitting, if you don't have a bigger reason to keep going because your motivation yo-yos, every day, and who knows, what kind of mood you're going to be in each day, right? You can't get any consistency. It's because there's just stuff that you're not looking at, and you may not be aware of that, and that's fine. That's why I do these videos. And that's why what I do with people is we understand this. We put everything on the table. We pull everything out of here, all our emotions, all our past, all experiences, everything you've done. We put them on the fucking table. We look at them. We understand why you're being held back, where your roadblocks are, what you need to be aware of. We overcome them. We get you clear on where you're wanting to go. We get you excited about the life you're going to create as the version of you that you are going to become. Then we get to fucking work. And then suddenly people that have struggled with motivation are suddenly motivated. People that struggle with consistency are suddenly able to be consistent. People that struggle to talk positively about themselves are suddenly hyping themselves up, and they're getting compliments and they're receiving them and they're feeling incredible. They're waking up happy and they're seeing their body change and opportunities open in their fucking life. This is what happens within the first month that I work with people. Every fucking time, because they're actually understanding what's going on. They're not suppressing shit, and they're not trying to use band-aid solutions like jumping onto another fucking 8-week challenge or another meal plan or another crazy training split to fix an issue that is so much deeper than just that. That's what I do. So if you're just done with this, if all this is resonating with you and you're just done, right? You're ready to be this new version of you in this awesome body, living an awesome life, then reach out, because yeah, we've got the solutions, done it many times, done it myself, and yeah, would love to have a conversation with you. So yeah, to wrap up, to summarize, if there are any questions you guys have, if there's anything that you would like more clarity on or an explanation on, please feel free to send me a message or drop a comment down below. And yeah, hopefully you guys have found this valuable, and we'll see you in the next video.